Have a word of prayer, please.
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you very much for this day, and thank you for the people who are here. We ask that you to bless the people that the magistrates and the county judge represents. We ask that you bless our county, help us do the right thing in your eyes. We ask in your name.
First thing you see is accepting the minutes of the last court meeting. What's your pleasure?
I'll make that motion.
Got a motion, second.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes. Yes.
Next thing you see on our agenda is Gulf Holler Road. I've been meeting with Lorraine on this road. Lynette, I've checked. There's no paperwork. Nowhere can be found where that it was ever accepted into the, turned over to the county to be maintained as a county road. But yet it's one of the roads that some way through time it developed a county road number and is registered with the state and is registered as a county road.
I believe it would be a county road. How long have we maintained this road?
We maintained it ever since I've been married, so but they maintained it before I was in office.
20 years?
They even blacktopped it before I come in, didn't they, Lorraine? It was
They done
blacktop.
it when they was.
That's before I came in there.
So that's been about 20
Yeah,
years?
at least.
At least 20 years.
Good, Lorraine. Lorraine, you wanna come up here and talk to Lynette about that?
What is it that you want?
I just want to, south above.
Are there other families above that?
They live on their property.
Does that road take them to their property?
Yeah,
Okay, and the county maintains it?
no, they hard topped it one time when they were told not to.
But there are families that live beyond that?
Yeah,
Okay. More than one family?
four.
So there's 4 people, so, do you think has it been hard topped for more than 20 years, would you say? Because John's been here about 20 years.
Yeah. I patched it, I've worked on, put a few patches on it.
So it's been maintained for
Yeah,
about
we
20
shoved the
years.
snow off on it, we cut the weeds off on it, we do whatever it needs, we pull ditches and
We do
everything.
that.
We've been doing all that.
There's a procedure, because it is in the system, for having a county road discontinued. And the fiscal court would have to do that, and they have to investigate to see if everybody else in that above you wishes for it to be discontinued. I mean, there has to be people that go out like official surveyors and say, no, this doesn't serve a public purpose. That would be up to the road foreman to do, but the county would have to take action to discontinue it. And then there's a lot of, like they have to, like they send out 2 people to look at it and say, no, nobody else. Or you could have everyone above that say, oh, no, we don't want this road to be a county road. Do you think they would, everybody else on that road would agree?
Oh, no. No.
So basically what you're saying is you'd have to have a petition
But the thing
signed
of
by all
it is,
residents.
That's
how
one.
did the county get the road in the first place?
Well, from what
When they
I,
were told, no, they didn't want it on. That's what I'm trying to find out, how the county got on the property without my family giving them a right of way. How can you go on somebody's property and take it?
if it's a public road.
It's not a public road. It was just a road at the holler that we used. Now, we can't put a house seat or nothing else because the road's in the middle of it.
Is it, but there are other families that use that road, right? So it's not
Yeah.
just a private road, it's a it's a road used by more than just yourself.
Yeah, they got the same amount of acres that we do. Can build the road the same as we do.
But the county maintains this road, right?
Just that one time,
That's not what I'm understanding that
they hard topped it one time.
okay, they say that they scrape it like whenever it snows, every time
Oh,
it
yeah, they
snows.
scraped it and they shut it all right into my driveway.
But, so they do maintain the road, and they
They
patch
started
it.
that.
We don't do that.
You could talk to a private attorney.
I'm going to.
Okay, that may be your best bet. Now, you can, if the neighbors will all agree to discontinue the road, that would probably be the simplest and the cheapest way to do that. If everybody else who uses that road would say, no, we don't want the road.
Well, they ain't gonna do that.
Well, so then you have to, you would probably need to hire an attorney. I don't know if the county, if the fiscal court would be interested in closing it if the road is used by at least 4 other families.
I
And it's in
mean,
the system.
how can it come that we have to furnish everybody a road? Why can't they build a road of their own like they were supposed to? I mean, why do it has to be on our property? How can the county take our property? How can they do that, George?
I wasn't there when it took it, I wasn't there when it
Well,
first came in.
I didn't know nothing
But
about
I
it
do know
until
that
they
we
put the
maintain
signs
it.
up.
But I know we
And it
maintain
was a
it,
county
we keep
sign.
it up for them.
That's how I found
And,
out.
well, how, let me ask you this, if they shut the road down, how are they supposed to get to their houses?
They can
Before,
use the road until they either build them a road. They can use the road, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the county being on the road. Nobody's stopping
okay,
them from going to
so
the
you don't care for them using the road, you just wanna find out how the county got to that?
Yeah,
Well, I'm sure Lynette can find that out later, but it might take her a while, but she could find out how they got it.
From what I understand, many years ago, it was adopted, I mean, it was put in the system maybe when the former Secretary of the Road and Bridge went through the county mapping, and those got turned into the state, but it's on the state map.
yeah, I know it's on the state map, and that's what I'm trying to figure out.
That's
How did it get on the state map when we didn't sign for the county to have it?
I mean, that's something that would take time, but you may want to get a private attorney
I'm
about
gonna get
that.
one.
That would probably be, especially if the neighbors aren't interested in not, in discontinuing the road.
I know, they have to fix the road. I mean, it's just like, you know,
Are you,
I just want the county off of it, that's all I want.
but you still want to use it?
I mean, they can use it if they want to. Nobody's stopping me.
Well, if they want to, if your neighbors want to agree with it, it's already on the map, on the state map that shows the road county. If you want to discontinue it, I mean, you can get everyone around you to sign, that you want to discontinue, or the county could, but if the county discontinues it, it has to be advertised, it has to be noticed, there has to be 2 people.
You know, I don't care, I just want the county off of it.
Okay, Lorraine, let me ask you this, so you're saying you don't care for them using it as long as the county don't do nothing to it?
That's
Is that
right.
what you're saying? So you're wanting this family to upkeep that road up, if they get a
That's the way it's
pothole
supposed to be in the
or
first
whatever?
place. That was the agreement that Patty had with James Bush,
That they keep it up and
that
not,
they would keep it up and keep the county off of it.
well, to me, that don't make sense. Why wouldn't you care for the
Because
county?
they're supposed to be on their property.
I know
Supposed to be
what
a
you're
road.
saying. Believe me, I really do know what you're saying, but it don't make sense to me if you want to let them use it, why the county couldn't go up and just shove the snow
Because
off
when
and
the
stuff
county
like
takes
that.
over anything, they tear it up. They just own it.
Have we tore the road, tore anything up in there since we've been coming up in there?
No, but if I.
Have
if
we
I was
tore
to sell them,
anything
you got the
up
county.
on that road since we've been coming up in there? Since I've been coming up in there, have we tore anything up on your road?
Not to my knowledge, I haven't.
I mean, I'm just, I'm the one that sends them up there to work on the road.
I know that.
And if I'm sure, and if I know somebody's tearing something up there, believe me, I'd be down on it.
When the county owns something, they just take over. I don't want the county on it. That's all it is. What they travel, I don't care. It ain't got nothing to do with things.
All right, how many times have we only blacktopped the place once?
I didn't hear me, where my hearing aids is here, don't hear
Did, we blacktopped the place once,
Twice.
twice? The
Once.
county did that.
Twice.
We cannot maintain
Once.
the road ourselves. I mean, that's our question, we can't do it. If it has to be resurfaced again, and it's got several drain pipes now that need to be worked on, and we can't maintain the road.
And you also, and a lot of times, you cut the weeds yourself if we don't get those soon enough, and sometimes you scrape the snow yourself before we get there.
I did
You
before I
do
was an
help.
old man, I guess.
I know, but you do help maintain that road. I'm not just saying the county comes up and does it all. You guys help too on that road.
I think Steve cut them last week, or a couple, 3 weeks ago or something. But we don't want no controversy with nobody.
That's, I
We
know.
just,
I'm sure she don't
you
either.
know,
I don't want no part, I ain't got nothing, that's fine.
Kelly,
I'm just talking about the county.
Kelly, Cat Fletcher and your dad blacktopped it the first time.
then you did
They
say.
did the first time, and then you came back and did it the second time. It's been twice.
So it was most likely done in the 80s and then
Earlier.
again in the 90s.
Yeah,
Our children were in school. We had, the reason it was done the first time, we had, Enos had 4 children, James had 5 children, and we had 2. And your dad said it costed us, we maintained it, and it was costing us so much to keep it gravelled and everything to come all the way out of the holler to get the kids out. And we asked for help. I mean, that was our fault. We asked for help.
So this,
So Cat came up and told your dad, he said, we will come out better. He said, we will come out better financially if we pave the road for the kids to come out instead of trying to gravel it, help them to gravel it in order to get the kids
so
out to
let
school.
me ask you, I've heard several things. So this is not the intended purpose. There was another such route that was supposed to have been made.
I'm not aware of that.
That's what Lorraine said.
That was
According
the agreement.
to our parents, there was an agreement, verbal agreement.
No written agreement.
They didn't do that.
No, they trusted each other.
They trusted each other. They were brother-in-laws and they trusted each other. There was a verbal agreement between the 2 brother-in-laws that there would always be a right-of-way up that holler because Dad logged and Hayes had the right hand of the fort, Dad had the left hand of the fort. And there was supposed to be a right-of-way up there. When Dad moved on the property, there was a barn setting where Lorraine's setting now. Then Hayes came on his property. Lorraine is right. It is, where she's setting is their property. They moved the barn. The right-of-way was supposed to stay up that holler to get into that holler. Now, we don't want an argument. We don't want a disagreement. But that was what, I would have never built a house at that holler and put our family up there and put them through that if that's the way, if we were told any other way. I wouldn't have done it. We definitely don't want.
So the location of the road as it sits now is the original location that was agreed on.
Mhm, yeah.
See, I thought it was up another way.
Huh,
Is that right?
what?
Is that where the load's at now? That's what they agreed on?
Yeah, Daddy and James Lucian, yes.
Daddy and your dad.
It was Daddy and Hayes.
Jenny and James Lucian and Daddy.
So the present, where the road sits today, is where the agreement was made between those folks.
Yeah.
So it wasn't no other point. So basically, we have no paperwork for it. I know that. So basically, all you want is the county just quit fooling with it.
Yeah.
It is,
Well, I can't,
You need to check on whether you spent all that money on that, whether you could bail out of it. now.
bail out or not.
You
And
might
we
go
also
for a
have to
tractor
wait to
or
find out if Lynette can research it, and if some way or another it's legal, we can still have to maintain it, but if we don't, then we can, if she says stay off of it, we'll stay off of it. When she finds out
I mean, the fiscal
The
court
legality of it.
can direct a road to be closed, but you can't vote on that right now.
Right.
You have to send somebody up to view it. You have to have 2 viewers with no interest. And then they have to have the county road engineer and go in writing and talk about what inconvenience would result from the discontinuance. And those people have to present something It has to be noticed in the paper like we do for anything, whenever we've added a road or discontinued a road. It's not just a simple vote.
The
I
first
mean,
step is a
because-
petition by all the residents on the location would have to sign the petition.
That's the simple way to do it,
That's the
if we
start.
can get everybody to agree, but as we've heard,
Right.
we're not gonna get them all to agree. So, I mean, if you want to close the road, which I don't know if that's something that the county wants to do.
Personally, I can't say, I know, I ain't gonna
Well, that's
close my
what
road
would
down.
have to
for-
be the
I got
first,
4 houses up in Hollow, you know,
and those are other people. I mean, if the road's to be discontinued, is that what you're asking?
I'm just asking for the county to say,
Okay, but see, we have to make sure we're talking the same thing, okay? To discontinue a road, that's to make it a private road. I mean, it could be a public road, but the county first would have to say, we would like to look at it. We have to send people out. We have to have 2 disinterested person and the road engineer go up and look at it, and then those people have to come back and say that's good or that's bad. I mean, that may or may not work. And then you have to put notice and things like that in the newspaper to let everybody else know. So it's not just a simple thing, because this is on the state map and has been, it sounds like for 30 years, at least 25. I mean, something
and
in
say,
that
oh,
vicinity.
I didn't know it until just a while back.
Well, see, there's also, by the fact that it's gone for so long, that creates another interest, like, because it's,
So how do you, when you don't even know it?
well, if you own property, you're supposed to
Look,
know
my
and
parents
check.
own the property. Now we own it.
Well, you may need to talk to a private attorney about that part. But by the fact that it's like so much water under the bridge, I mean, just because you found out about it here, doesn't mean that everybody else, because it was open and, I mean, the people who live there, the people around there, the court would have known, would have allotted money for the roads to be taken care of. It wasn't secret. I mean, so that makes it harder for the county to discontinue. I'm not saying that they won't or they can't, but it just makes it that much harder to get something done whenever it's been a certain way for so long. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'm
We
not
may
sure,
want to talk to a private attorney.
the way she just said, she's gonna want us to prove it. I don't think she wants to close.
If one.
you don't want us on it, the
Yeah.
county on it. You don't care for them using it, you just don't want
I
us
hear
on it.
from you.
Well,
That was never an issue.
okay. Well, let me ask you one more question. If, say one of the drain pipes caves in, and they can't get out, it's rotted out, caves in, coming up that hill. It's gonna cost them $4,000 or $5,000 to fix it, when the county could go up and fix it for free. You see what I'm saying? If something like that would,
Yeah,
see if something like
Have a
that.
right of way again.
No, the county wouldn't, no, the county ain't gonna take nothing away from you, Lorraine. The judge will tell you that.
We can't take,
We can't take, we ain't no way, that's impossible, the county to just come up and take something away from you, that will never happen.
They are.
No, they just been using it, the way they're using it now.
Okay.
so
Would you want somebody going to your yard?
basically, let's just put it out here on the table. Basically, you want the road closed, sign already in the store.
No, you don't have to close the road. I sure don't want the road closed. I just want the county on it.
Okay. I don't know what to say.
So when it comes to snow, you don't want me to come up and scrape the road for them, so they can get the kids out to school and nothing else. That's what you're
They
saying?
did before.
Yes, we have, yes, we do now. Do we scrape that road or not?
Yeah, a couple of years. But
A couple of
before
years.
that, Keenis Ray and Art.
I just said that they help us scrape the roads if we didn't get there in time, that they would help scrape the roads. I just said that. I said, but even though they do that, we're still there either an hour later, or the next morning, the next evening, to scraping that road for them, make sure that it's off there, and we saw it.
They've been there before daylight, one time.
And you know, I'm just saying, you know, I mean, I can understand why you wouldn't want us to help.
I just don't want the county on the road. It's private property. That's the way I want it to stay. That's the way it's always supposed to be.
Well, Well, like I said, if it comes back and when she does the research, it says if it's your property, I'll personally stay off of it, myself. I won't send nobody up there. But I can't do that till somebody tells me that it's not in the road plan, like it's on the state registry as a road. Until they tell me it's not there, I've got to help them. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
nothing
Until
against
it's-
you, until they find out, I've got to help them, until they find out. I mean, I don't know what else to do. Because like you said, you don't want it shut down, so.
Lynette, clear us up what we have to do from this point on.
If the county wants the road discontinued, and I don't know how you can, the distinction that I'm hearing, and I may not be understanding correctly, she wants to keep the road but not maintain it by the county.
Yeah.
But the county, because it's in the system, would have to discontinue the road. I mean, we can't just stop. So the fiscal court would have to put notice up on, a mile away from the road, and it has to be advertised properly like we do if we're gonna open a road. It has to be in the paper. You have to send 2 disinterested people and the road engineer to go out and look, and then make a report as to whether that would be the best interest, and,
But we all know that's gonna be a moot point and a big waste of time and money.
so are you just not wanting to discontinue?
I'm just telling you, what you just said is, it's legal and it's the way we supposed to do it.
Right.
But they ain't nobody in their right mind is gonna sign that live up there. It's gonna sign that, I don't want my road no more, I'll walk to the
No, you're
house.
confusing 2 different things. What I'm talking to you about right now is if they won't agree, that she still wants to try to close it down, she can ask you all to vote to try to close it down. And then you have to send out the 2 disinterested people and the road engineer to look and see. But as you're saying, most likely, but we don't know what they would say because they would be disinterested. And both sets of people here are very interested in different perspectives. But those people could report back that
They have
it's,
to put up some flyers too, in
Yes.
the area, telling them
Yes.
that it's coming up, and give people, the open public, a
right,
comment day to come to the court and talk about
the
it.
notice
I thought it had to start with a petition from all the property
It has to
owners.
start from a vote from here to start the
Both,
process.
we've done that
If
time.
everyone agrees, Victor, you're talking about if everyone agrees. Like if you had people, like a whole nest of people said, we don't want you to get out, then they can do that to vote. And then but that's a different, we're not even looking at that because it's a
Different
complicated
process.
thing.
Well, we're gonna move off center here, and I'm gonna ask for a motion
To do
to
what?
close the road and start the proceedings. Do I have a motion? Hearing no motion, definitely not hearing a second, since I ain't got a motion, I guess that stops.
As I understand.
That stops right now until Lorraine goes and gets her attorney.
That's as I understand.
Okay, all right.
Over.
Thank you. Thank you guys for showing up. Reappointment of Bill Harvey on the water board, his term's up, motion. Second,
Second.
all in favor?
It won't close.
Second reading of budget.
We didn't get to talk about it.
I didn't get one.
Y'all didn't bring yours.
I didn't get one.
Okay.
You need a copy, you didn't want to waste any paper?
I'll just read it, y'all listen, folks, ain't nothing changed from the first reading. General fund, general government, 1,012,401.32. General health and sanitation, 200. Social services, $4,300, debt service $8,000, administration $201,168, other fringe expense $404,107.34 for a total of general fund $1,630,176.66. Road fund, general government $24,000, roads $564,103, debt service $31,849.66. Administration $49,584, contingent appropriation $750,000, other fringe benefit $220,135.48, for a total in the road fund $1,639,672.14. Jail fund protection of personal property $364,883, other fringes $74,781.96, for a total in the jail fund $439,664.96. LGEA fund, general government $67,451, protection of personal property $44,925, general health and sanitation $80,104, social services $1,300, roads $86,834.0, administration $25,661, other fringe been $111,896.04 for LGA fund total of $418,171.04. State grant service, debt service of $668,583, contingent appropriation $3,020,000 for a grand total of $3,688,583.00. Federal grant fund, general health and sanitation of $27,000 for a total, forestry fund protection of personal property $2,600 for a total. Solid waste fund, general government, general health and sanitation $426,083.67, debt service $104,593, administration $26,852.33, fringe benefits $97.064, for a total of solid waste fund $654,593. Occupational tax fund, general government $35,722, protection of person and property $263,037, general health and sanitation $53,394.91, social services $50,000, recreation and culture $269,787, administration $27,899.36, fringe benefits $120,068.03, distributions to other government agencies $140,000, for a total occupational tax fund of $960,000. LGED fund $50,030 for a total. HUD fund $150,000 for social services, administration $70,215 for a total of $220,215. Sheriff's Office fund, general government $504,500, administration $25,661, fringe benefits $160,292.20, for a total in the Sheriff's Office fund $690,452.20. Total of all appropriations, the grand total of the funds $10,421,058. Motion.
I have a question, Judge. I didn't see it broke down on my budget as far as the soil conservation. Are they going to receive the same allotment?
It's the same.
30,000.
30,000. Well, that's cut, but it's 30,000.
We got anything in there for parts,
Yes.
a piece each?
No, we don't got that appropriation yet.
We're gonna get that.
We're hoping to towards the middle of our fiscal year. Motion,
Motion. Second.
all in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Next thing you don't see on your agenda is our health insurance. If you guys want to step forward, I want you to know this has been a 2-month process. 2-month process, and there ain't nothing good about it. But they're going to present the plans that have been made available to us, and we'll make our decision on which one it'll be.
I'm going to pass out some packets. Most of you know me. This is Kevin Wader. I think most of you worked with him even before. We have been putting some things together to try to simplify this as much as possible. I think I've even spoken to most of you in the past few.
Are you guys the only one that submitted a plan?
We have submitted several carriers for it.
Nah, you can't, give her one. For the record.
Well, I mean, that's up to me. I mean, if I'm insurance, then why would I get you to come in and send me a plan down when you're in the insurance business yourself?
Well, because we're representing the same carriers everyone else is, and absolutely be honest with you, they've taken the commission side off of it. Most agents don't want to write it anymore because they don't make much money. But anyway, it's a service and it's our community, so we want to do the best for the community that we can because we live here. So what we did, John, to simplify, here's an anthem of Bluegrass and United Healthcare. And I think we spoke to you, John, the other day, but we haven't probably had as much conversation. The anthem renewal that you had a 95% increase this year, so that just probably isn't feasible for anyone. It was a bit ridiculous, to be honest. Anthem offered some alternate plans, so we chose a plan that was probably as close as we could get to the other plans that compare. And if you want to skip over to the chase, the United Healthcare plan offers the most coverage for that money. And we gave you a benefit summary in there. Now, it's still a bit of an increase from where you were this year. Bit of a reduction in coverage, increase in premium.
Thanks, Obama. That's true, that's true.
So you said the United Healthcare package was
If
for the amount of coverage the
you want
best?
us to probably summarize that a bit, the United Healthcare will get you $2,500 less on a deductible than the Anthem, and it will save you about $50, $75 on a month. There will be some changes to the current plan that you have now, but if you went with the plan you have now, it's $1,300 per bed.
Well, one of the actually saying is we're paying more for insurance, but we're losing, getting less coverage.
Yes, we are saying that,
Paying more, get plans.
absolutely. But we're just an estimate.
Can we all go on like Obamacare and get it for nothing like everybody else that don't work there?
Well, we've had some conversations. Now, to be honest with you, if the plan that your group offers is considered unaffordable, people can go off and go to the Obamacare. When we've done some studies, it looks like if you have a household income of about $24,000 for two people, this might be considered unaffordable if you pay a portion. A lot is contingent on how much of a portion you have to pay. For example, I think some of the studies that we did when we were working the numbers is if you're paying about $700 for them, and they're going to pay about $125, anyone making probably 24% or less might be able to get some help or subsidy. And we can quote that for them if they'd like us to.
What about the ones that don't make it much? Say they make $15,000 a year, or
They may get some help. They could probably get some assistance.
Because most of them just make $15,000, $16,000.
But now, that would be for family too. Now, if you had a larger family, that would
Family
bump
plan.
up. And we would be happy to look at people individually if they think they may qualify for some sort of subsidy.
Now, the majority of the plans on the exchange also, your provider network is pretty limited. Limits you to basically just Kentucky doctors and providers and so forth. So that's one of the major differences.
Well,
If you go
I'm
to the
gonna
exchange
have to, I
also.
on TV today that you're not allowed to buy cheap insurance.
So there's a minimum, I think.
Yeah, somewhere or another, you're not allowed to buy the cheaper insurance because it's against Obamacare. Something.
I think that what they're talking about, isn't there a minimum Obama requirement?
Right. And all of these plans meet the minimum essential coverage that you have to have. To be honest with you, the Anthem plan that we quoted for you is quite a bit different from the coverage that you have now. It is in the minimum essential plans.
Okay, that Anthem plan is like $50 higher, but do you get more coverage with it than you would United Health, or are they the same coverage?
No, that's what we want to point out. The deductible on the Anthem is $5,000 per individual. With United Healthcare, it's $2,500. So you're saving $2,500 if you have a cost. Another thing, you get 4 office visits before deductible applies. With United Healthcare, you only get 3 on the Anthem, and the out-of-pocket was different as well, correct?
Can I choose my own doctor?
Out of pocket was less.
Yes.
Out-of-pocket.
About 400, is
Yeah.
that right? Is that the yellow thing?
Yes.
Down in the pocket, yes.
And the good thing is, so with all three of these plans, and I'll be honest with you, Bluegrass is not even an option. They price themselves so that we wouldn't choose them, to be honest. With all three of those plans, though, most of the doctors in the area are in network and hospitals are in network.
Which one would you guys recommend to the United Healthcare?
Yes.
So let me explain to you, your budget is written for 700 apiece. It was 670 now,
669.26.
669. We bumped that up to 700. Then it's going to be a payroll reduction for 5782 per employee that takes the insurance.
That's per payday.
$7 a month, or payday,
Yeah, 26
Payday.
pay.
$26 a payday.
No,
$57.
5687. Now that's not,
Payday,
A payday.
so it's $104 a month.
125.28.
Okay.
that's not counting if they get any subsidy, because just what you're talking
They will
about.
not get subsidy on your group plan. You only can get subsidy if you're going in individually.
Well, what about like, my wife, we always buy the plan for me and her together. I bet paying $700 a month for hers for, every $700 every 2 paydays for over, probably 2 years maybe, I guess, or something. It started out like 6.
I
4
tried
years
to
ago.
call you actually this morning. I went in to try to quote her separately because I think it's going to be less expensive for her to go individually than to be on the group because it's going to be $700, $800 again this year.
But if you go separately, it may be less.
I think it might be. If you call me in the morning, I can finish it up because you have to have incomes and some things like that quoted
So you,
individually.
now on that income, too, she's a mail carrier,
Mhm.
but she gets a contract route, then she takes off all her expenses, then she gets like a gross income that she has to pay Social Security on. Is that what you need, or, because see, her income is not near what her payday is, because she has to pay gas and tires, insurance.
Well, we'll have to take care on how we enter that in the system, but they'll look at household income, so anything you're making and she's making
Oh,
will
mine,
count your
okay.
household income.
Okay.
That's correct, right there. County's a specialist.
So
I know.
double, so more or less you need, like my W-2, I mean, my stuff from last year, what I filed on.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
That's
you've
why
got there's an option on there, I've got the numbers I can give you for what it will cost if you put it on. We really just need to talk. We're having to look at everybody pretty much individually to see where the savings are. We've even taken some people to carve out of your group that is bringing your numbers down and maybe, you know, they could either be less or more, just contingent on that. But we look at it probably 15 different ways because we knew this was a hard day, a hard decision when you're losing coverage and paying more money.
But you know, actually, that Unitel, you know, that's pretty decent for all the other stuff we see.
Mhm.
Now, to lie in a tone, we may be better off next year. You know, we have another year experience and see how many people go to the doctor.
Well, this out of pocket, I see, it's a little bit less than Anthem, but now once that's spent, that 6250, then do they kick in then at 20%, is that correct?
Once you hit your max amount of pocket of 6,250, then the plan would go to 100% coverage.
So it's 100 actually.
So they get
Yes,
100% cut.
yes. After your 2,500 initial deductible, then it's 80/20. And, so then so the things that go toward your max amount of pocket is everything. Your office visit co-pays, your prescription co-pays, your deductible, all those things will help to meet that 6,250.
Okay, then also it says, like on the prescription, 10, 35, and
60.
and 60, but
Oh, I'm sorry, I just should have been a dollar sign.
that's what it said 460. Why is that 460? That's what
Someone made a typo.
It says 460 here, that's what I was wondering.
I wonder who that could have been.
That sounds bad.
Yes, it does. One thing that happens that we're seeing with insurance is it's pushing us toward funding a bit of it ourselves. And so we're trying to minimize that risk. So for example, if you have to go to the doctor 4 times because you have a pretty healthy year or just a cold, you're in pretty good shape. Now, if you have a hospital stay, you have a $100,000 bill, to be honest with you, that $2,500 deductible or even that $6,250 out of pocket will not seem that bad because they'll work on a payment plan. So it's forcing us to put a bit of our own dollars into our care, but minimizing that risk in case you have a $500,000 claim.
So what about this, like this $30 for 4 visits? After the 4 visits,
The deductible applies.
Subject to your deductible, yeah.
so it'd be 20% after that?
Yeah, so if you're looking at United Healthcare, you can go to the doctor 4 times and pay the $30, or it's, I think it's 60 if you see a specialist. But you can go 4 times, but if, say, maybe you have an earache and you have to go 10 times, after 4 visits, you're gonna be paying that doctor's visit, but it's gonna come off that $2,500 towards meeting that.
Yeah. But you have to pay the whole thing, or just have to pay
Just the cost that you incur at the time.
what the bill is?
Right. You go to the doctor and it costs
If it's more than 4, you don't get
$150
half the 30 on the other. If it's
Right.
$50 or 60 or whatever it is, you have to pay.
Right.
That's what I want.
So basically, I guess, for the 6250, I can only use myself as an example. I had surgery a couple of years ago, and it was over $100,000. So if I'd had this policy, out of that $100,000, I would have only ever paid $62,000.
In that plan year, that's correct.
Is that this plan here too?
Yeah, from 7/1
Now,
this year to 7/1 next year.
Till
And then-
16,
and then
15, then it's
until-
gonna
yes,
double.
Until it resets.
Then it's gonna double.
Well, hopefully, if we don't have as many claims going in next year, and, you know, if people get healthier, or just if health insurance at large performs better, maybe pricing will go down. But it could go up, I mean, we don't know from year to year.
so out of that $100,000 bill that I had, and I paid the $62.50, what kind of ceiling do you have up here on this policy?
6250. That's your.
I'm talking about,
A maximum lifetime, you say.
Oh, your maximum, oh, okay. It's unlimited. I mean, that's part of Obamacare. It's that all policies are unlimited.
really.
That was probably the most positive thing.
So my policy back 3 years ago was a $5 million policy.
I've seen some for 2 and 3 million, and also 5.
We had through here one time, it was 2 million, didn't we?
And that was
Probably.
normal. That
Probably,
was
yeah,
normal.
that would have been the norm.
Right.
Mine may have been 2 million, I don't know.
We did.
Might have been a million. But say for some reason you reach that cap at that point, then what happens?
They just,
You flea market.
just sit you outside, I got.
Call Kelly.
Yeah.
Well, listen, that was a concern. Actually, I had a family member that had cancer over a couple of year period, and by the time they tried several different treatment methods, she was getting near maximum on her insurance. Now, there's no maximum, so they could keep trying things, you know.
So is that one of the reasons the premiums are somewhat higher now?
Partly, but there are some.
Well, I guess that has to be one
There's-
good thing out of
there's-
Obamacare for
That was
this
a
bit.
change, also like your well adult screenings and so forth are now included at 100%.
So how versed are you all on happenings in the news today or yesterday where the Supreme Court upheld one portion of Obamacare? Does anybody know what that is?
I think pretty much the lawsuit was over how they were collecting the penalties.
Well, that was about where the states that didn't opt into the plan, those were the only states that were affected. Where Kentucky opted into it, we wouldn't have been affected.
You can be sick if you want to.
Be as sick as I want to. Okay,
If you're not middle class, if you're middle class, you can't afford insurance, so you say you're a dead man. Because if you can't afford to buy it, then you gotta pay a penalty for not buying it. I think that's
motion to go with the
I'll make that
825.28
motion.
payroll deduction of $57.
I'll make that motion.
John, second.
Yes.
All in favor?
Yes.
One thing before we go in, nobody knows what Erlena, Kevin, Donna, Chrissy, and Linda's been through. Not only on the health issue, it's just the budget total. And I want you all to know I appreciate everything you all have done for us. They just don't, you know, especially, not trying to do, especially these girls. They they've made life tough for me, but we make it pretty good.
I would like to mention one thing that you might tell people that you talk to in the next few days, because we just need to expect this. And this will probably, unfortunately, hit Donna and Christy more than anyone else. When you change from one carrier to the other, we have 95% of it done, but we'll probably be seeing her tomorrow. We have to get more information in because we're going to another carrier. If people have prescriptions and you see them, ask them to try to get them filled before the end of the month, because they will have coverage. But what happens very often is they'll go in to get their blood pressure medicine on July 2nd. They won't have a card or a number, and pharmacy says, oh, you don't have any coverage. They get scared. They will have coverage, but they probably will not have a card maybe for 14 days. We'll do our best to expedite that and help any way we can. They can just tell them they're changing carriers and it's United Healthcare, but we'll get everything in paper-wise as much as we can to try to make that go as smoothly as possible, but often that happens.
What's your phone number? I call you tomorrow.
298-0863, and let me give you my cell.
Excuse me, you may not want to give that out.
Especially when the camera's on.
There's a card.
Okay, I apologize.
Maybe I wanted everyone
You told me to call you tomorrow.
You may get a million calls.
We'll talk. How are you? And if we can help any of you individually, let us know. Thank you.
One more thing before we go in executive session, motion to do all of our advertising for drain pipes and tires and all that stuff.
Motion.
Second, all in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Does anybody want to come before court before we go into executive session? Motion to go in.
Before we go in there, I'd like to make a motion that, hey, John Hum, will you come up here, please? Before we go into executive session, everybody's probably gone, time to get out, Kelly. I'd like to make a motion that John Hummon cuts all the grass that the county's got because he can do it for free. And that would save us a little bit of money. And all we maybe had to spend $200 or $300 a month, maybe to buy us gas and oil food.
Well, we want to start that, and we're hopefully here, and we may not get it done by grass cutting season, is have our own people cut some of. Of course, we're still going to have help, but we'll never be at the magnitude we've been before. But we do have, we have a community service line item in our budget. And so, see, we've never had no place to pull the money for them, and them girls are just trying to been making it work. But now, after the first of the month, but now keep in mind, guys.
So you're saying community service land that we can give to the sheriff's office that will
Well,
allow
no, where they can charge their gas to, so it won't come off his budget.
Okay.
Yeah.
And weed eater string and
Yeah,
stuff like that. But keep in mind, guys, this is a budget. We're still broke. So, we're gonna have to start picking up.
Well, that's what I'm saying, right now he says he can cut it now, instead of expensive about it, so I thought, put that in motion, and he cuts the weeds. Personally, when he comes to cut mine, I go up and help,
Yeah.
and I'm sure
Well, you
this
come
does.
over here and I need help.
Well, I'm working it. I told him I'd come over here and help, but he said he had all the help he needed over here. Just needs more help over on my
You
side.
got enough help to do, I need more people.
I think we can. I mean, we'll do everything we can. There's days that we've got 3 or 4 people. There's days we've got 10 or 12 people. We don't have professional weed eater people. Anybody can run a lawnmower. But today, I
No,
had to make...
anybody can't run. You have to work on a lot when everybody runs the lawnmower.
But, we'll do everything that we can do with what we've got to do with it. I mean, it's all about working these people and trying to save the county money, keep them, putting them in jail.
But save money on that.
By the way, Donna, has your jail bill went down any since he started doing community service work?
That's not,
It's not
that
got
don't
that
take
yet.
care of the jail, that takes care of the fines, don't.
But now our riding lawnmower, the county's got now, I mean, it's in pretty bad shape.
Kelly said he's gonna buy one soon, we got some money.
Yeah, I've got a grant to buy a lawnmower and I'm gonna buy one. Do we have a trailer?
Yeah, we got.
Part of the trailer, it's not.
Blaine fixed it. He fixed that trailer, he welded that trailer good, didn't he?
I don't know, John, that we have to have that in the form of a motion. I mean, if John's willing to do it,
I mean, listen, we'll do everything I mean, it's all about trying to save the county money and let these people work off their debt to society instead of putting them in jail over there.
Does that include picking up the garbage and stuff too at the parks?
We have, yeah, as of right now, we go around to all the parks. We try to go on Mondays, or sometimes that we're kind of overwhelmed and we don't get there because of, you know, we don't want to take every single person we got to try to pick up garbage at one park.
Right.
And we're kind of, you know, we kind of got to shuffle our.
John, keep in mind too that we're gonna have to go back to the fleet cards. And I think, Linda, you said that we're gonna be able to get that worked out.
It's looking more favorable this afternoon.
So I'd be more than happy to go to the fleet cards because I just tell you guys, if I go on a trip to LaGrange or somewhere to pick up an inmate and bring him back here for courts, then I gotta buy gas out of my pocket.
Well, keep in mind, it's 50 cents a gallon we're costing.
Yeah, it's saving money.
A lot of difference.
So, but probably what when I don't know, was we gonna do that this meeting, ask for a standing order to pay for gasoline?
We did, and then when we submitted it to DLG, they marked out every line item we had except for in road and bridge petroleum.
They dismissed that one then?
Yeah.
So what I guess I want to do now, guys, let me explain to what they're saying is we send in standing orders. We have to send them in every year to pay the water bill, the light bill, so we don't have to take it to court.
Right.
What I want to be able to keep Fleet One and keep them paid, we'd have to have a court meeting at least twice a month. What I want is a motion from you guys to pay for all of our gasoline when the bill comes due. And maybe we can keep our fleet card and save us 50 cents a gallon.
You need a motion now?
Yeah.
I'll make that motion.
All in favor? All right, motion go to executive session.
Motion.
All in favor?
Okay.
We'll be back a couple hours.
Continue on it tomorrow at 4:30.
You need to get your motions on your
Motion come out of executive session.
motion.
Second.
Want everybody to know that no action taken. A lot of personnel stuff was,
You need to get
Discuss.
your motions on your financial stuff.
no, I can't find my agenda. Can I have yours?
I've got two.
Yeah. Let's see, session.
Financial.
Personnel, we do have one little personnel issue. We have a truck driver that needs to be put back to work. He's Don Parsons. Not immediately, but Linda, probably a payroll beginning the next payroll in July.
Yeah.
He's our part-time truck driver.
When will he start back and then stop till July?
18.
The payroll's next Thursday, so the following Monday, right? That will put him on the cycle.
It'll be on the 6th.
Sixth.
Okay, 6th of July.
Motion to
Make that motion.
second.
Second.
All in?
Yes.
One thing I do want to, in the month of June, I want you guys to know, just kind of make you all aware, I've been looking at the Model Administrative Code. It's on KCO.org under Loss Control. It's that many pages, but, you know, if you could, just start reading through it, because we're going to have to make a change probably in the month of July. Ours is so outdated that we have to do all the updates on the new laws and stuff. Just want to make you aware of that in this meeting. Motion to pay the bills.
Motion.
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
What else we have?
You got some
Government
transfers.
expenses.
Government expenses, motion,
Motion.
all in favor?
Yes.
Anything else?
Cash
Cash
transfer.
transfer.
And I don't know where all my stuff went, but cash transfer.
Motion.
And
Second,
appropriation transfer.
all in favor?
Yes.
Appropriation transfer.
We did that.
Motion.
Motion, got a second?
Second.
All in favor?
No. So they will Thursday.
I got a question before we adjourn.
Okay, go ahead.
On the sewer project, they've got several cuts down there, like on Firehouse Lane. They've got 2 cuts going across Firehouse Lane. Maple Street, Collins Creek, and it's been over a year. And so, the residents been really patient, but they're, getting to the point where they're losing their patience, understandably. And they also have cuts across some private drives.
Let me
That's not
tell
been
you,
passed or
what I
fixed.
what I know is that they give them extension. The plant didn't get completed. As you know, if the plant's not completed, the line people can't finish their job. The line people are at that stage, but they're kind of on a standstill right now because there's no sense to go in there and clean all that up and then mess it all up again.
Right. Well, the cuts that I'm talking about, though, are the ones not to install the houses. It's where they just go across the road with the line. I mean, if they could just come in and patch those.
I'll have my colleague tomorrow and see when his plan, I think Kenny Hinkle's doing that.
He did the first round.
And we'll see if we can't get them over and get that done.
How about before the water company cuts? Because back up on Clun Bank and places, I mean, I think we should do a thing like we did the gas companies, any utilities.
Well,
across the
that's
road
actually
that-
what it is, Gary, it's any utilities, but I guess the water companies think they can. I will, if you would, draft me a letter to the effect that they need to follow the same procedures that gas company does to get to cross our roads. And Gary, you're exactly right. Gas company used to do that, but they've kind of helped a little bit more than they generally do, but the water company does not. I know that both of them, gas company not as much as the water company. The water company have line and have emergencies, but I can see that we can probably work a little better than they have been with us. Anything else?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion second. Second.